Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hindu Explain series. I am Kushagra Goel. So with regards to the yesterday's big day, which was the International Human Rights Day, okay, it is in remembrance of how human beings have some innate rights, and whatever be the reason, no other human being can restrict them, right? So it belongs to you, me, and all of us, right? So that is why that day becomes really, really important. It was on the same day that the UDHR was signed by so many countries, and India was a founding signatory of that, okay? So that is why the day is marked, and it is really, really important, right? Because fundamental rights and human rights is something that is really important from the CLAD perspective. So I hope all of you did read and do remember the day properly, okay? Now, yesterday there were not much questions, so we'll just directly dive in to today's newspaper, okay? Which is that, see, on the right hand side, yesterday was the foundation links stone laying ceremony of the new parliament building. Remember this, that the construction of the parliament building cannot begin as of now, okay? The Supreme Court has stalled the proceedings on the grounds of not correct procedure being followed with regards to the construction and how the project has been allocated, and whether the land that belongs where the new parliament building is to be built can be used for construction, okay? So that is an updating or a developing story. Whenever that judgment comes out, we'll discuss that, okay? Then on the left hand side, we see that government has asked farmers unions to reconsider proposals, okay? So the government did send farmers understanding their concerns some certain proposals and a written assurance that MSP will not be discontinued, but that the farmer unions have rejected those proposals. They are like, the proposals are unconcrete and the government is going in circles, and their demand of repeal of all three laws is still standing. One thing that the government has conceded, that it will not bring the electricity law. We had discussed the Electricity Amendment Act. If you haven't watched it, we will put that in the description box today, and do watch it, okay? That law has been, the government has stated that it will not bring in any more, okay? Then on the bottom right, there is a really heartening story for India in general, which is that HelpAge India, an NGO in India, has been awarded the United Nations Population Award, okay? We had discussed this news when the Queen of Bhutan had been given the award in the personal category. Now on the institutional level, Indian NGO has been awarded this. We will discuss this story, and if you haven't watched the detailed analysis of the United Nations Population Award, we will put that in the description box today, and do make sure that you watch it, okay? Now moving on, with regards to farmer protest is the main national news developing, the stories around it. One positive news is that COVID cases are dropping. This is the 11th consecutive day where COVID cases are below 40,000, and today is the first day cases have gone below 30,000. The number of deaths are also receding, and the same is the case with most of the states, okay? Moving on then, again on the national front, more politics, nothing really relevant for us, okay? Then on the editorial page, okay, the editorial page has a very interesting read with regards to children and their pedagogical development, okay, how the new system of learning from tablets and phones, and how does that affect the development and the intellectual betterment of students, okay? Not really relevant from CLAT perspective, but as all of you are students who are part of the education system in general, I highly recommend that you all should read this editorial in general, okay? It is by former director of the NCERT, and therefore it is a must read for everyone who cares about education in general, okay? On the left hand side, there is grain and chaff, okay? The center must first implement its proposal before continuing talks with farmers, okay? Again, with regards to farmer protest, nothing really relevant from CLAT perspective, okay? It is just to tell the government that, see, what you have done by not consulting the farmers previously has been something that has disappointed the farmers, and the government must act in general with regards to its proposals. For example, the proposals that the government has stated, it must act on them in concrete manner to convince the farmers that the government is really serious about heading in about their demands. Okay, nothing really relevant from CLAD perspective actually. True to its name, the DCGI did well to seek more data before clearing emergency use. So yesterday there was news by the DCGI that it has stopped the process of emergency use, stalled the applications of Covaxin and Covishield because of lack of data. Okay, with regards to Covaxin, they had not even given any details about the phase 3 trial, which is the mass trial phase. Okay, so it is an appraisal of the DCGI that, see, you have been true to your name, and how just because there is a need of the vaccine, you have not let down the security guard, the guardian role that is given to the agency. Okay, on the right hand side, it's political analysis of the politics of the TRS and how there is space for the Bharatiya Janata Party, not really relevant from CLAD perspective at all. Okay, then again, here is a discussion. Okay, on this page, are IT managers facing an existential crisis? So with regards to work from home, where and artificial intelligence, do managers with regards to IT projects really need to be existent, or their jobs have become redundant in general? So that is a discussion in general. If you are interested in tech news or something like that, then it's a healthy discussion for you to know with regards to policy affairs, not really relevant from CLAD perspective. Okay, then this is the cartoon which states with regards to how government proposals have been rejected. It's using the format of Tinder, where if you swipe left, then you reject it. If you swipe right, you accept it. Okay, nothing there. Then on the foreign policy, there is the editorial about Iran's calculated risk. Iran is enhancing its nuclear program, which can be reversed if talks with US pay heed. Okay, now the idea, see, President Donald Trump unilaterally backtracked from the JCPOA. Okay, we had discussed JCPOA previously. Now the new administration for US is about to come in. This is basically political tactics, hardlining, how to get other countries to negotiating table. Okay, that is exactly what this is about. It's an update of how Iran is trying to exert pressure on US, and if US actually concedes to the talks, then Iran can always backtrack, is something, because they did it for the JCPOA and they are willing to do it. Okay, also it's an analysis of how just because talks being entered into, it can reduce the amount of sanctions on Iran, which will be really beneficial for their economy because they are suffering. And also an analysis of how Israel as a country will lose out if sanctions are revoked on Iran. Okay, so it's a foreign policy security affair, nothing really concrete here. Okay, until the talks actually happen, a treaty is in place, those things, all these intermediate discussions are of really no relevance. Okay, then on the political front, again, there is updates about the number of people who have been participating in local elections. Local elections have suddenly become important for national news also, because, see, the ruling parties are now vying for space everywhere. Okay, the current incumbent ruling party is focusing on expanding its political borders, and with that sense, it sees local elections as a way to create grassroots space for itself. Okay, so that is why these elections are covered. With regards to Hyderabad, Greater Hyderabad municipal elections, except the Prime Minister, all the important cabinet ministers, including Home Minister Amit Shah, had campaigned there, right? So that is why they cover a lot of space in our national newspaper, but that doesn't mean that they become really relevant from CLAD perspective. Okay, again, there is nothing with regards to this, that lawsuits could force FB to sell Instagram and WhatsApp. See, this is a speculation because competition law is being in place. Now, until that really happens or something principally comes out of this, these speculations of businesses is not really relevant. Okay, nothing concrete is in place, nothing has really happened. What only becomes important with regards to these tech companies is that they are an umbrella organization under the Facebook company in general, right? Just for example, Android, Google search engine, Chrome, and Google products are part of the Alphabet incorporation, right? So that is how all of this is relevant. See, again, the words used here are dominance, monopoly, power to crush smaller rivals, and all of this, right? So the competition idea is that, see, in a capitalist market, there has to be fair competition. If there is one player who occupies the entire space, for example, most of the social media applications that we use today are owned by Facebook. So there is very little scope for any other company to exist, right? So that is a dominant position. Now, until that really happens, there is no real relevance for this news, okay? Again, on the political front, there is pictures about the foundation laying ceremony where people of all the faiths were invited to conduct the puja or pray, send wishes to their gods with regards so that it brings happiness, and the construction of the building is something of a symbolism. The Prime Minister called it the symbol of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay. Apart from that, there is no real relevance. Voter turnout in DDC polls in Jammu and Kashmir has been 51%. That means that, see, majority of the population there believes in democracy, right? If we take, like, for example, a margin of 20% in general with regards to voting, right? Every person in the election doesn't vote. Now, so that means that, see, majority, 51% turnout means that barring that 20% margin, most of the people in Jammu Kashmir still believe in the idea of democracy as the way to go forward, right? And not in armed or violent rebellions, okay? That there is update with regards to CBSE exams for all those who are participating, preparing for CLAT along with their examinations. The dates are still not out. They have not yet been decided. There is now, so 2 days ago we had discussed the statement of Minister of External Affairs Subramaniam Jaishankar, and today, yesterday, China through its Global Times state mouthpiece or news agency, you can say, have responded that and has blamed India for the escalation and has talked about delinking, that whatever is happening on the border can go on while we normalize relations. See, this is a way methodology of them to continue to expand their economy while creating tension. They know that India have limited resources. China is 5 times a bigger economy than India, right? So it can still afford to keep resources at one place and while continuing to expand on another place, right? So that is the idea here. Nothing really relevant, okay? Then India, Nepal to restart commercial flights. Virus very Indians indulging in film craze at home because cinema halls are closed. Okay. Then there is another news, an obituary for Astad Debu, who has passed away. No, I don't think that from a cultural point of view, individuals who are not so prominent can be becoming part of CLAT preparation. Nevertheless, keep a note of this, okay? Now moving on the magazine front, there is no specific news for us, okay? On the international front, there is one big news which we will be discussing of Morocco normalizing its relationship with Israel, okay? Then there is updates from Brexit and UK talks. Yesterday there was talk of Boris Johnson going and talking to European Union. Today he has already set a deadline. See, these are political hard playing tactics to make other party concede, okay? The Conservative Party and Boris Johnson's stand is that he's completely alright with the fact of no deal Brexit, that even if there is no deal. Now, and he has been pushing European Union to that brink, but European Union and other vested parties in United Kingdom want a deal so that the impact of Brexit is not that high, okay? Then again, apart from that, there is update again from Israel where they have opened another place for tourism. Nothing really relevant from here, okay? Too much specific history of Israel is something of specific knowledge, okay? But because it is there in the newspaper, it's something that you should keep in mind. It's with regards to the Herodium fortress, okay? It exists on the borders of the territory that Israel occupies vis-a-vis Palestine, okay? On the economic front, okay? So yesterday there was one question that students were asking, that the Sensex is on so much high. Do we need to cover that kind of news, okay? So now what happens at the growth of the stock market is not something that really is relevant from academic point of view. Stock market is rising, okay, it is rising. What can we do? Or see, academic point of view, I don't think it matters too much. But a little bit of history of the stock market is something that you all should know, and that is something you can keep in mind, that what is Sensex, what is NIFT, okay? Apart from that, I don't think updates with regard to stock market is something that is really relevant from the examination point of view. Okay, then on the economic front again, there is not much really updates with regards to what is happening. Okay, then here so on the sporting front, there is another icon of football who has passed away. Okay, Paolo Rossi, a FIFA World Cup winner with Italy, has passed away. They won the World Cup in 1982. Okay, nothing really relevant apart from that on the sporting front also. There is update that the first international cricketing action in India will take place during the months of February, March, and the series schedule has been announced with tentative dates from February 5 up going up till March 28th. England will be touring India. The test series will be part of the World Test Championship. Okay. Apart from that, there is nothing there for us here. Okay. Now let's dive into the two important news. Okay. So the first one is the UN Population Award. Okay. The Population Award has been awarded to HelpAge India. Okay, now a little bit of history of HelpAge India. It was established in 1978 by Cecil Jackson Cole. Okay, who is Cecil Jackson Cole? He is the founder of HelpAge International. Okay, HelpAge India is a specific wing but has origins from the HelpAge International. Okay, so Cecil Jackson Cole, the founder of HelpAge International, that name becomes relevant. Okay, then there are three other important individuals identified by HelpAge India itself. Okay, they are John F. Pearson and Samson Daniel. Okay, so they are international personalities, but from India side there is MM Sabharwal. Okay, so these are three names that you need to remember with regards to this. Then the year in which the organization was founded. HelpAge India is a place where a take care home for the elderly or people who elderly persons who are not taken care of by their children and who need nursing facilities. So the organization is novel and compassionate on a humanitarian service. Okay, and then a little bit of history of the award itself. Okay, founded in 1981 by the UNGA, and the only time period an Indian personality has been given this award was the last time it was given was Mr. JRD Tata in 1992. Okay, we have discussed everything about the award previously. We will put a link to that in the description box today. If we haven't seen it, do check it out today itself. Okay, and this is the first time an Indian institution has been awarded this. Okay, so this is all that becomes relevant up in this news section. Okay, then is this news, okay, that Israel has been able to normalize full diplomatic relationships with Morocco. Now, why is this significant? Okay, this is significant in the eye of Israel-Palestine. Okay, the Israel-Palestine conflict is with regards to the Holy Land or the territory where Israel was established. After Second World War, a country for the Jewish was established by the Allied forces, and Israel was created. Okay, but already there were inhabitant Arab population there. They were moved into separate enclaves, and Israel has declared itself as a Jewish democracy. So the origin and the country declares itself as a Jewish liberal democracy and has been carrying out attacks on its Arab population basically to remove them, right? And therefore the entire region of West Asia or Middle East is majority Arab population, right? And so the conflict is, okay, a war took place and then Israel prevailed in that. Israel, as you know, has huge backing from the US, and Donald Trump has been pushing for closer relationship with regards to Israel. Okay, he even regarded Jerusalem recognized Jerusalem, and that is why, because of the proximity of Israel and US and the current incumbent administration, Israel has been able to steady the ship with regards to other Arab countries, and they have also reconciled, in the sense they are coming around. Okay, so this is the process of coming around an old foe. Okay, so first it was UAE, then Sudan, Bahrain, and now Morocco. How is this significant? Because then the question of Palestine has taken a back seat. The rights of the Palestinian or the solution for Palestine has become less and less important. Post 2014, India has also either abstained against Israel or have not actively vouched for the stand of independent Palestine. Okay, prior to that, post that, we have entered into military purchase agreements with Israel because countries have recognized that they need Israel far more than they want to take a moralistic stand to protect Palestine. Okay, so this is transactional internationalism. Okay, that countries are okay to overlook human right violations of one country just because they need it financially, economically. Okay, India needs Israel for to prevent desertification, to increase productivity of its farmlands, to reduce the water intensive crop usage, because India is facing a water shortage. So India has realized that it needs Israel far more than it needs Palestine, and all the other countries are also coming around this idea, and therefore they are overlooking the human right violations that Israel continues to exert on Palestinians. Okay, and this is a recognition of that. You all know that CLAT 2020 also had a specific question with regards to that. So the only two big countries that now remain Arabic who have not recognized Israel with formal relations is Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Okay, so that is now the next frontier. Israel has been pushing under Benjamin Netanyahu for more diplomatic relations, because then that will end Israel's isolation. Once the isolation of Israel ends, then it can expand and grow its economy even further. Israel already is considered a developed country in general. Okay, so this is now the developing story with regards to this, that Benjamin Netanyahu has been able to get Arab countries around. He has been touring them covertly, trying to push it through US. What needs to be seen is that as long as Donald Trump is still in power, okay, this push will keep on going. But the new incumbent president in US may or may not be that favorable to Benjamin Netanyahu. So he knows that time he is working against the clock and has to ensure, because once relationships are in full swing, once the thing is set in stone, it is difficult even for Joe Biden to revoke such things, right? So this is a push he's making. All of this is something that we need to keep in mind. Okay, so the important thing now becomes for you all, the update is that Morocco has recognized it's again a far more ahead than India in the terms of development as a country, and have recognized Israel with formal diplomatic relations. Okay, so that is an update for you all. Once all of this is set in stone, I think it makes more sense for you all to cover this dispute in entirety at a later point of time, while keep on noting down these updates. Okay, keep the Israel Palestine conflict in mind and keep on doing keep updating yourself, and once things are set in stone, then pick up the topic completely and do it. Okay, we will be doing the same, and once we are there, we will be explaining it to you all. Thank you so much for today's video. If you have liked this, give it a thumbs up and share it further, and if you have any doubts or suggestions for us, we keep a note of that, and we are working overtime to get things earlier for you, get these things on time, so that your preparation is not hampered. Okay, so thank you so much for your love, and we will push harder so that you are able to realize your dream of entering or clearing CLAT. Okay, thank you so much. If you are one of those who haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a hearty reminder, do subscribe to it now and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss the update for tomorrow.